Today's Honorary Bachelor of Applied Studies degree is awarded to Saäd Rafi. Saäd Rafi is the CEO of the Ontario Retirement Pension Plan Administration Corporation. He joined the organization in January 2016 and is responsible for implementation of the Ontario Pension Plan beginning in January 2017 with the launch of employer registration and the collection of employee and employer contributions effective January 2018. At maturity, this plan will have over 4 million members and 450,000 plan sponsors. Prior to this role, Rafi was the CEO of the Toronto 2015 Pan Am Parapan Am Games Organizing Committee. Under his leadership, the organizing committee delivered the largest multi-sport event in Canadian history. In addition, the organizing committee delivered a very successful games and returned $106 million back to the provincial and federal governments. Mr. Rafi's leadership with Toronto 2015 extended to Humber. His active contribution to the School of Hospitality, Recreation and Tourism's Pan Am Games celebration event was instrumental in connecting the spirit of the Games with the Humber community. His enthusiasm and support for various Pan Am initiatives with students and faculty, as well as the number of interns and graduates hired to work prior to and during the Games, also became a central piece to the Pan Am Parapan Am Games celebrations at Humber. Mr. Rafi also held the role of Deputy Minister of Health and Long-Term Care from 2010 to 2014. During his tenure, the ministry undertook the most ambitious and significant transformation of the health system in a generation. Mr. Rafi has held the following deputy minister positions during his 24-year Ontario Public Service career: Community Safety, formerly Public Safety and Policing Services, Transportation and Energy, and Infrastructure. He was first appointed to the role of Deputy Minister in February 2003. From 2005 to 2008, Rafi was a partner at Deloitte and Touche, where he started and successfully built a national infrastructure advisory and project finance practice. He also held senior management positions in the Ministries of Economic Development and Trade, Cabinet Office, Transportation, and the Ontario SuperBuild Corporation, an agency of the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Rafi also is a trustee with the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. President Whitaker, Mr. Gray, it is with great honor and pleasure that we ask you to confer upon Mr. Saäd Rafi this Bachelor of Applied Studies degree. I now invite Mr. Saäd Rafi to address the class of 2016.
Thank you very much, Rick, for that very kind introduction. I think it perhaps should be shortened because it just appears that I can't hold a job. But seriously, let me begin by thanking everyone here at Humber for including me in this very special day for you. To the graduates, congratulations for two important things. One, for, of course, as President Whitaker has said, for putting in all the hard work to get yourself to this day. And second, for selflessly supporting each other, your classmates, in getting here together. Also to the family and friends, thank you for the many ways, big and small, that you've supported and sustained this journey. I think we all know pursuing education takes sacrifice. but it's often a shared sacrifice. And so this day is a shared celebration. So congratulations to all family and friends and to everyone here. I know that you will all make a difference out there for certain. As has been mentioned, Humber alumni have stood beside me in so many of the challenges I have faced in public service, in business, and in volunteerism. So I'm extremely pleased to be able to count myself as an honorary member of the Humber community. And of course, to the Board of Governors, President Whitaker, thank you sincerely for this tremendous honor. I'm very proud to be associated with a post-secondary institution that is always innovating, always evolving, and always partnering to ensure graduates are ready for the ever-changing world. Today, I'd like to speak about one of the consequences of that fast-paced world. I think in the past, you would have heard Convocation speakers often talk about taking risks, learning from failure, and overcoming challenges. Today, I want to talk about another kind of risk and perhaps another kind of failure. The risks that maybe never materialize and the failures that may never happen. I'm talking about one of the most significant obstacles in launching a career, a startup, or a program: doubt. I don't mean doubting yourselves. I know you're never going to do that. But you'll likely be part of teams that face doubts out there. Today, we all build careers and strive to build a legacy in a very public environment that often seems to value doubting more than doing, criticism over compassion, and cynicism over optimism. Now, some doubts may be justified. Some may be necessary. Our democracy, after all, is based on freedom of expression and rigorous public debate. However, we are living in a time when ideas and initiatives are often judged to be failures before they even get launched, let alone before waiting to see what happens and what impact they may have in the short term. Now, the cause for this, I think, is also complicated. I think social media has had a positive impact on connecting people and is influencing positive change in many areas. But it's also a forum for a lot of instant criticism. Traditional media, too, has been forced into the most competitive environment they've ever experienced. They jump more quickly to judgment. So whatever the reason, one could argue that this environment has been detrimental to more thoughtful and considered assessments of change and innovation. Certainly, today's graduates will feel this pressure acutely. Hospitality, recreation, and tourism, creative and performing arts are sectors where so much depends on reputation and positive buzz. You might be launching a business, a brand, or a community initiative. You will likely face instant opinion, heightened anxiety, and maybe uninformed criticism. Quick judgment can lead to unhelpful risk aversion by your team members. It can be a real challenge to get team members doing new and different things under this kind of intense scrutiny. You will need to muster the personal stamina and fortitude to innovate in the most difficult environment that I think we've ever seen. And yet, you don't ignore the critics, but you don't let them dictate to you either. That story is still to be written. You can impact that story by trusting in the people you work with, working hard, and showing resilience and determination. Because if you do that, even though we live in this background noise of negativity and maybe instant opinion, people themselves will rarely disappoint you. And that's really my message today. If you put your trust in people, they usually exceed your expectations. That is how I think I have overcome some of the most difficult challenges of my career. We learned last year as a region that people rarely disappoint. The Toronto 2015 Parapan Am Games, before they ever started, faced a lot of doubt and criticism. Yet while doubts dominated the public discussion, people were busy, building success one step at a time. Businesses were signing on to us with sponsorship deals. Community groups were planning activities, like an Aboriginal pavilion, a Pride pavilion. Artists were creating installations. Various communities throughout this region were getting ready to show off our wonderful diversity. And as I said, people will try to write your story before you ever get out of the gate. But again, have faith. People rarely disappoint. The people of this region, in the end, wrote the story of the games. Over 1 million tickets sold. More than 2.25 million people enjoyed the games, and including our cultural celebration called Panamania. And I think they did that because they have an innate desire to feel connected to each other in a very positive way. To build a lasting legacy, you really need to tap into these higher aspirations. I think it takes true leadership to bring them out. And to me, true leadership manifests itself in all aspects of our life. And we can, and I dare say we should all be leaders in some way. For example, do you remember the volunteers of the games? They didn't just do their jobs. They did it with passion, having fun and dancing as they did it. They were leaders in the truest sense of the word, because their idealism was infectious. It turned public perception around. It was more evidence for me that people rarely disappoint. So, I've learned that providing the vision, a compass, if you will, or direction, and the evidence on the why of something is my contribution to leadership. When people are aligned with each other, their reach can many times extend well beyond their grasp. Today, I'm fortunate to have another opportunity to work with Ontarians in building another legacy, the new Ontario Retirement Pension Plan. How's that for a transition? And as you see, you're just graduating and I'm trying to sell you on a retirement plan. But in fact, I see this challenge as a chance for our current generation to build something that will benefit your generation and others that will follow. As I said earlier, our world is rapidly changing, and that, of course, includes the world of work. So those beginning their career today are much less likely to have a pension benefit. Thanks to institutions like Humber, Ontario already has one of the most highly skilled and highly educated workforces in the world. And I hope that building a bit of stability into that retirement will make Ontario's economy even stronger. And it's a rare occasion that you have, and it's a rare occasion in the history of our province, and an occasion that I have, and that's what interests me in this new challenge. And I believe that difficult things are always worth doing. And I know you do as well, because you put the work to sit here and accept your graduation. And I know Humber graduates are the kind of people who seek out those challenging, difficult, and worthwhile opportunities. You'll bring leadership, creativity, confidence, empathy, enthusiasm, ideas, and strong ideals. You will put your trust in people, and those you inspire will be the imprint you leave on the places you work and in the community where you live. And we will all benefit from those many ways you will build lasting legacies of your own in your community, in this fantastic province, and throughout the world. So thank you again to the Board of Governors for this tremendous, tremendous honor, and I wish all of you the very best. Thank you very much.